What's going on, YouTube? Tyler here with False Neutral Media. Alongside me, my brother, my co-host, Trevor.
That's
and
me.
we just got done with the first East Coast round,
Yeah.
Arlington, Texas.
Mhm.
What did you think? 250. Let's break it down and get into it.
250s. Let's get right into it. We had some favorites coming in. Let's see how it shook out in the mains. We had a good showing. Great showing by Cole Davies in Dudney in the beginning of the night in the heats. Yep. They were looking very fast. Unfortunately, some bad news caught up with them in the main via way of first turn crash. So they were fighting against the entire pack of 250s in the East Coast division during the main. But Cole Davies moved himself back up into fifth, which is, I think, kind of a signifier of him for the rest of the season, which is no matter who you've got in the top five, I'm there. I should be there. And no matter what happens to me, I'm going to claw my way there. So I think Cole Davies is 100% a threat in this. But I think the one that surprised me the most might be the same that surprised you the most. Who was the one that surprised you the most right out the gate?
I would say, I always cheer for Pierce Brown, but he definitely surprised me just because of his past luck of, injuries, especially starting off the season and taking him out. So I am actually really excited that he won, put on a great show. So I think that rider, he was the one that kind of stuck out for me. But I mean, I could say the same thing about Joe Shimoda coming back from injury and everything like that, and just dominating. And we'll get into more of the nitty gritty with light situations and stuff like that with him. But no, I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. He looked amazing, and I'm excited to see what he can do for the season. Only being on the bike for, I think, a week, maybe 2 weeks, coming back from injury before the East Coast first round. But Seth Haymaker looking absolutely phenomenal with the PC Kawasaki. Daxton Bennett was up there as well. He had a couple issues like in the heats and stuff, but then and in the, I believe, the main, until it was red flagged, and then boom, got up front and put on a show. So I mean, there's still a lot of people in here. Dudney looked phenomenal, but yeah, what was kind of your highlight, your take on the race between the top three guys?
I think for me it was one, we had some red flag restarts. We had some light situation, but I don't want it to take away from how hard Pierce Brown worked.
Yeah.
He worked really fucking hard. To come back from, I believe he had a torn Achilles, which is similar, if not the same injury that Eli Tomac had, if I'm not mistaken. So to come back from that, and then the other rider that we're looking at that surprised us, Joe Shimoda coming back from a broken neck in his cervical spine. So it's like, okay, man, like this is we're seeing a sport where the top competitors are coming back from career-ending injuries in any other sport and are coming out and battling for the win. It's awesome. It's awesome to see. And I think, Daxton Bennett surprised us with the fact that he brought in the top three. But we've seen that most of the time in his first round, that's where he's getting his podiums, not in any of the other rounds. So if Daxton Bennett can put up a third place finish and continue that momentum going forward, he's put himself in a good spot to challenge for the championship. Especially on the East Coast division. How these guys are going to stack up against the West Coast, I'm not quite sure. We saw a lot of speed out of Pierce Brown, Joe Shimoda, Cole Davies.
Yeah.
That was the highlight for me, was going, okay, so it looks like these are our three top guys. And people could go, but Cole Davies finished in fifth. And it's like, right, we're looking at the lap times We're looking at how they can put together fast laps and lines. We're
Yeah.
looking at race IQ. We're looking at all of these things. Cole Davies has it put together. But I will say, right, Caden Dudney coming in, right, goes down in that first turn crash and still comes back up to 13th. I'm not mad about it for your rookie season.
Yeah.
I'm really not mad about it for your rookie season.
Yeah.
Now,
Absolutely.
we got to work on our starts. We got to work on not letting that front end tuck. We're going to put some stuff together. I think he's with a team that is going to see him excel, and I think we're going to see him start putting it together. I think we also have to mention Nate Thrasher's 2-for-1. Nate Thrasher, being a veteran of the class, saying, I'm not going to be pushed around. I'm coming in. I would relate Nate Thrasher in a way. When I saw that 2-for-1, I was like, oh, that's the Jason Anderson of the 250 class.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
absolutely the guy that's like, if you're not paying attention, I'm going to get you.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you, and I'm not going to be nice about it either. But I will say, with that being said, the pass was nice. It was clean.
Yeah.
And the two riders were like, hey, what the hell? And he's like,
Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
my God, it's Jason Bourne. It's Nate Thrasher going over the triple.
No, yeah, he looked great. Great. So many riders.
Right. I think another person that surprised me was, Drew Adams getting in there close to the top 5. That's going to be an asset to Seth Hamaker. I also think Cullen Park surprised me with a 9th.
Oh, yeah.
Coming from WSX and really trying to carry the momentum they had. It's been a while since WSX finished.
Yeah.
So the idea of him transferring that speed into a top 10 finish, I was very happy to see that.
Definitely.
I do think Jalek Swoll was going real fast.
Dude, Jalek was looking fast.
He was looking good, dude. He was looking good as a contender. I was happy about his performance. And then those whoops, dude. Tell me about the track. How did you feel about the track?
That track
here
was
in Arlington.
Absolutely gnarly. Absolutely gnarly. Those whoops at like right as you started bringing up, I was sitting there like, oh my gosh, those riders, I feel so bad. I wouldn't even try doubling them. And yeah, the track was sick. I thought it was sick just because it had a lot of those sick rhythms, like especially the double or the triple quad. Some of I believe some of the 250s were hitting that line. Because that was just a fast line, but watching the 450s hit that, and that was a big quad. But I thought it was really cool. It was technical, had some fast lines, and it would have been kind of cool to see what I was sitting there like, oh, what would the West Coast guys kind of do? What would Hayden's line choices be, or who on the West Coast would really love that track on a 250? But
Right.
it was the East Coast time to shine, so it was. No, I thought the track was awesome. I believe, yeah, it was a dome, so they didn't have to worry about weather or anything. The dirt looked really good, and no, yeah, I thought it was a pretty gnarly track. As we know, with the East Coast, their tracks are a little bit different. Even though we were just in Arlington, in Texas, to be back, and it's like a whole Houston. What is it? I think it's like an hour or so away from each other, maybe 2. But anyways, but it's just the different dirt that they brought in, like it's pretty crazy, the difference from the West Coast to the East Coast.
Yeah, I think it was one of those. The track was so gnarly when we saw the viewpoint of the whoops from Jalek Swoll crashing coming forward at ground level. It really gave you the clear picture. And even Chad Reed had posted about the whoops on his Instagram page and was like, let's talk about the whoops for a second. It has become normalized to jump these whoops. people are trying not to blitz them anymore. Blitzing them is how you are going to get that speed through that section.
Yeah.
Jumping them, you're going to be behind every single lap. And we saw, I can't remember which rider he had
Yeah.
showcased, right? But they blitz the whoops, and he goes, look how much faster this is. I get that they look gnarly, but at some point, you don't have another option. You're going to have to blitz them to save that time. And it's like, I don't think whoops should be taken out of Supercross by any means. But
No.
my God, those were fucking terrifying to look at. Seeing Jalik Swole where the dude in front of him got a little squirrely.
Dude.
Brother, you're riding. This guy is bouncing back and forth.
Like a fish out of water.
Looks like a background dancer at a Bad Bunny concert. He's just swaying back and forth. And Jalik Swole's sitting there in his helmet. All he can hear is, Jesus, take the wheel, as he's just end over end. And I'm like, oh, God.
Fuck.
So I thought the track was sick, the triple quad. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
That whole section was flow. We saw awesome passes. We saw great racing. But the 250 class in the East Coast made me go, okay, dude, I think Pierce Brown, Joe Shimoda, Cole Davies, Daxton Bennett, if he can keep the consistency that he's building here and not be like he's been in previous seasons, if he can put it together and be that mainstay rider on the East Coast, I think we're in for some great racing when the shootout comes. But let's talk about the dreaded lights.
Yes.
We've got this ruling. If the lights are there, they're a pre-warning. Then there needs to be a flag. Then you roll. But we know that Honda's been penalized for this shit over and over again. And it's convoluted. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And I think my entire rant for that can be condensed to different sports have very strict rules in which they are enforced.
Yeah.
It almost feels in a way, right, when the AMA are making these rulings, and I believe you're probably pulling up what they said.
Yep.
But when the AMA does these rulings and you've got a rider like Joe Shimoda who's like, hey, when I'm competing for the championship, I can't be docked positions. I can't be docked points.
Yeah.
I need every point that I can get because what happened to him last year, right? First round, I come out, I get my fucking fingers broken, right? He needs every bit of safety net that he can get. He's not going to fucking jump when he sees a red light or a red flag.
And that's what I thought that they were told.
And my thing is this. If the red light comes up, flag or not, roll it. It's an easy rule. If you see the red lights or you see the flag or you see both, roll it. This whole, if you see the lights, you can keep going until you see the flag. These guys are racing.
Yeah.
Do you think they're out there going, I hope I can spot the flag? Dude, I'm looking at the line. I'm making sure I can hit the triple quad that you guys fucking put in here. And you're asking me to look for lights and a flag? I ain't got time for this shit. So I can understand why Lars, right? HRC Honda's manager was like, guys, what are we doing? We've been penalized more than any other team. But we've got video footage of Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, all of them whipping past a Red Cross flag. And no punishments. Nothing happens, right? But if Jet does it, or if Hunter does it, or if Hymas does it, or if Shimoda does it, all of a sudden we're getting penalized. Now, there wasn't a penalty here for Pierce Brown, and there wasn't a penalty for Joe Shimoda. It was just Joe Shimoda rolled 2 jumps in a row, gave Pierce Brown the position, and then couldn't make it back. If he had more time, could he have made it back up? It's definitely possible, but like, I'm not here to play what ifs, and I don't think anybody should play what ifs.
Yeah.
It's definitely, we should move forward and look to next weekend and stomp the competition in Daytona. But let's see
Yeah.
what the AMA said.
Yeah, so on Supercross Live on Instagram posted race direction communication regarding red cross flag and red light race procedures. Following the 250 and 450 main events of round 7 of the AMA Supercross Championship, AMA is issuing a race direction communication regarding on track red cross flag and red light signals during the event. And what they had to say was during the race, a warning light, also referred as the single red lead in light, was displayed in accordance with standard race procedures. When the warning light is shown, riders are alerted of a future obstacle being shut down. However, the presence of the warning light alone does not prohibit riders from executing jumps unless accompanied by additional flag signals or directives indicating otherwise. Following a close review, race direction determined there was no blatant violation of the Red Cross rule. Riders were already committed to the jump without a visible warning light to reasonably signal the restricted condition prior to takeoff. Given the absence of the red lights and the lack of advanced visual indication before rider commitment, officials conclude that the circumstances did not warrant penalties. Just reading that, I don't understand. I don't.
So
understand
you're telling me that the red lead-in light is a yellow light?
I guess so. Like, yeah,
then why do we have the yellow
traffic?
lights?
Yeah, I mean,
Why do we have the yellow
that's
flag?
that's why when they come over for the first lap, I feel like the green flag should be like everything's clear. That's the only flag which I mean we see, but why are we having a whole bunch of these lights and then the lack of clarity for these riders? It feels like, okay, they're, we're told this, don't do this. Oh, okay, we can do this because everybody's doing it, nothing's happening. It's just mind-boggling how that turned out, because if I was Joe, he was the fastest one on the track. Like, hands down, he was the fastest one. He slowed down. The only way Pierce Brown passed him was because he saw those lights. I don't know if there was a flag, but when you see those lights, and I'll let you explain why those lights were on, whether it was a malfunction or not, there was something that was going on, but it wasn't anything crazy. Wasn't anything serious, and I'll let you dive into that.
So from what we saw, somebody on Instagram, I believe it was Derek Kelly, the 77 Kawasaki from Boise, Idaho, MX6 Racing. He had landed short, which kicked him into a false neutral. He put it back in gear and accidentally got whiskey throttle, went off the takeoff jump into the middle of the finish line takeoff and landing. He landed right in the middle, almost went up the front of the takeoff of the finish line jump.
That's gnarly.
But immediately saved it Axel Hodges style, like looped the bike back around and went back on the track. He wasn't over there for more than like 3 to 5 seconds. Max.
Yeah.
Gets back over and confirmed in the Instagram comments. He goes, and they kept that red light up for like the whole lap, but there was nothing there.
Yeah.
So that's my other thing is this, right? We can talk about the lights. We can talk about this. Is the track crew aware of when to turn the lights on and off? If there's no longer a hazard, we keeping the lights on for another 2 laps? Where's the flag then?
Yeah.
If Joe Shimoda's seeing these lights and he's going, I'm waiting for the flag, man. Where is it?
Yeah, because he doesn't want to
But
get
there's
docked.
no
Yeah.
flag because there was no incident. It was already settled. So I can see why HRC goes, but you guys left the lights on. And this is what I'm talking about. And Jace McAlpine from Gypsy Tales, he talked about this a little bit. I believe it is 100% valid to be like, why do we not have head communications, helmet communications with the rider and just their mechanic? If just their mechanic is going, hey, we're getting news, there is a red light out, you can keep jumping until you see the flag.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we've solved these issues, and people go, these guys are racing. You think they want to chirp? If F1 can do it at speeds unknown to most human beings, I assure you they'll be fine.
They do it in jets.
But when you're telling me that it is easier for riders who are locked in on their line and hitting their marks to be looking at the side of the track at flaggers that half of the time are not even paying attention.
With the crowd cheering, you're battling
Where was
for
the
the
flag?
top. Yeah.
Why were the lights still on? Right? That's the conversation. I get why HRC is like, nah, this sucks.
Yeah.
This sucks. You guys left the lights on. And I'm just going to be honest. How much does Joe Shimoda know and comprehend about the lights versus the flag? How much does any rider on here know? Because you've heard them all go, yeah, you can jump and then you can't jump, right?
Yeah. You got to watch for the flag, but it's like you said, how can you do 100 things at once while you're battling to feed your family and the championship? You know what I mean? Like there's so much.
But that's the thing is when HRC goes, okay, for this mistake, if it goes down to the last round because Pierce Brown's on fire and so is Joe Shimoda, and it goes down to the last round over points, this isn't going to be talked about. If Pierce Brown wins the championship, it's not going to have a little tiny shadow on it of
course it will. Of course it will.
So what's the game plan? For Pierce Brown, it's come out at Daytona and stomp the competition.
Yeah.
For Joe Shimoda, it's come out to Daytona and stomp the competition. We can do what ifs all we'd like.
Yeah.
If people are going to make up rules or be vague about the rules until it fits whatever they want the rule to fit, I mean, that is what it is. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do. They're the ones who make the rules. But when HRC is going, look, we're trying to play by the game, but you guys keep moving the goalposts, it's really hard for us to get a consistent view on what these rulings are. And for the AMA to just go, we investigated it, we found no fault. And it's like,
that was your guys' fault.
Okay.
I'm going to say it like plain and simple. Like, you guys left the lights on. It needs it. Like, I know shit happens. Like, shit is going to happen, but just own it. You know what I mean? Have a writers meeting at Daytona. Hey, whether you change it on the spot or not, set the fucking rules. Make it very clear for these riders, because not only do they it is also a safety measure with these riders too. If Joe slowing down like he did and staying to the right instead of the middle, and he rolls over and comes up on the landing and you got Pierce Brown jumping, you're looking for someone getting landed on too. A lot can play out. A lot can play out in this. So I hope the AMA takes this like, okay, we fucked up. Sorry. Whatever, let's move forward. No penalties are going to happen because it was our mistake, whatever. This is it now. This is what you guys need to look out for to make it easier and safer for these riders and a better understanding, because they're thinking about a million different things. They're not, they're not like Jet with a huge gap lead singing fucking songs in his helmet. Like,
Right.
or hey, what am I gonna do tomorrow? You know, like these guys are full on battling, wide open.
But we've even seen Jet Lawrence jumping for a over the finish line,
Yeah,
and there's a red cross flag, and he throws a fat whip because he won the moto, and then he goes, "Fuck," because he
yeah.
just got docked.
A lot of old
And what
clips because of
and
these
what did they do?
are coming
The
up.
AMA went, "Interesting. Got him." Bang.
It's wabbit season.
Yeah, duck season fire. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. But I think my whole understanding of this in a more nuanced conversation that I think we should be having is we probably should be asking another question, which is why the fuck are we getting so many red flags? Right? You want to talk about rider safety. Why are we getting so many red flags in immediate restarts? These tracks are getting gnarly. The riding is being elevated to a point we've never seen before. We're watching people breaking their necks every year. We're watching people snapping their Achilles every year. We're seeing people get concussed.
Getting
all the
fucking
time.
paralyzed and taking them out of their
Absolutely.
career. Yeah.
So it's this. Okay, we can focus on the red light rule. I think I'm focused more on this is becoming too much of a problem.
Yeah.
But I think another thing I'm thinking about is, brother, this doesn't look very safe for these riders that are putting it all on the line for, and like Jay said, some of these riders are racing for millions.
Yeah.
So when you have these vague rules and it's like, well, this time we're going to let it slide. And the other teams go, you have fined us for this. We have gotten points taken away and positions taken away, livelihoods taken away.
Championship points like that have
brother, this isn't an MX Bikes tournament ran by us. You get what I mean?
Which has been awesome, by the way.
Which has been sick. You should check it out. Little segue, little promo. You like it, capitalism. Anyways, you've got all of this happening at once, and I'm like, yeah, man, I do think we need to have more rider safety.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe that helmet comms, or at least a very strict rule set to where it's like, you cannot misinterpret this. If you see the red light, roll. We're seeing more red
flag or not.
Starts.
Flag or not. Yeah. You see any
roll.
lights flashing.
If you see the yellow lights, jump with caution until you see the flag. That's different.
Yeah.
When you're flashing red lights, what does red mean?
Slow down or stop. Like stop, basically. Yeah.
These dudes are in race mode.
Yeah.
They see red. They're slowing down.
And with the red flag, okay, with that red flag on the 250 main, they had the screen. Was it because the three riders went down in the first corner because they all got up? I don't know. Okay, I don't know if that's
the restart. You're talking about the restart.
Yes, yeah. For the red flag.
A bunch of people went down in, I believe, the whoop section.
Oh, so because the screen was focused on the first corner, and I'm like, these riders that went down, like I think it was 3 or 4 of them, they went down. Why is it a red flag? Because they're getting up, they're not in the way, because that's a start, the first corner, and they're out of the way to where riders can keep going. I didn't know, like, that's another thing. I thought it was that because they didn't show the other, unless I'm mistaken and missed it. I was, out at Honolulu Hills, so I didn't get to, fully see it. But that's when I was like, why was it?
I want to say it was like Luke Neese and a couple of other dudes that ate shit hard in the first corner.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
in the first
Whoops.
corner.
Or corner,
And
sorry.
and were not getting up for a bit. Like the
Yeah.
three of them were kind of sitting there being like,
There were,
oh,
yeah,
because it was
there
a
was one.
slam, dude.
Yeah, there was one
But
that
then
hit hard.
But then more crashed in the whoops on that first lap, and they were like, "There's way too many riders down on different parts of the track.
Yeah,
We're restarting."
understandable, which I thought was a great call, super great call. But yeah, when a rider is going backwards on a track, especially going up the face of a finish line backwards, yeah, you definitely need to have the red lights. But when that rider turns around and it is clear, because there was nothing when Joe and all those guys were coming around both times on those laps. So, I mean, we could keep talking about it all day, but I just hope.
We also don't have the full view.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
we
another
only see
thing.
what the broadcast shows us. I don't know what else was happening on the track. I'm only talking about sleuthing on Instagram.
Yeah.
I saw Derek Kelly's post and he goes, for everybody wondering why the lights were out, because they were like, who the fuck turned the lights on? He goes, here it is. And he showcases it. And you're like, oh my God.
Wait,
And
so he has a clip of
he
it.
has
Oh,
the
okay. I
clip
thought he
of it.
actually talking about it. Okay.
No.
Because for
He
all we
has
know,
the clip.
that could have happened. It could have been a super
It could
fan
have been a crash.
streaking on the track. It could have been a crash.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there, brother.
I'm still waiting for our sport to have one streaker, like maybe before. No, obviously not during racing. Like,
and remember, if you're listening, through God, all things are possible, and you could be the streaker at the next.
Don't do that. We don't want you banned from events, but
yeah, there's
we
a lot
still
of
our
kids
sport
there,
still.
Don't do that shit.
I mean, people rush the field at Daytona all the time, you know, but we know it's
dangerous when they did it when the race was still happening. Yeah, don't do that again this year.
Yeah, please don't do that. Like, let's have a good weekend at Daytona. Hopefully AC doesn't get kicked off and his media credentials, his extra VIP like big dick energy credentials get taken away for no reason.
I want to see Adam Cianciarulo headbutt somebody.
Honestly, now that you brought that up,
the
like,
nicest guy in the sport just being like,
AC could probably like, dude, he's such a nice, chill dude, but he's got to have like that. I'm John Wick underneath. Please don't.
I don't think so. And I'll only say this because as somebody who's super into like hardcore punk music, he's very much on the pop punk angle. So I think he's very like, hey, dude, I'm just here for a chill time. And you could see like, even in that clip from last year when the guy's like, you need to leave. He's like,
yeah, he's like, why?
Well, I don't.
What did I do?
What have I done?
But if he hears a breakdown,
right?
What the fuck? Like,
but what I'm saying is, I would love to be hired as Adam Cianciarulo's full-time anger. Period. I'll be your anger. Right? I'll just walk with you on the track, and if some security guard goes, "Hey man, you can't be," I'll just beat him up.
So basically,
like
his wild anger security guard.
Not even a security guard. I'm just his anger. I'll be sitting there with him next to Justin Brayton as he's doing the pre-show, and I'll be like screaming in the background. That's all you see. I look like Godzilla in the background.
Like kind of like are you like the Key and Peele? How he does the
Obama's anger.
Anger. Okay, yeah, that would actually be
today.
That would be a super funny segment. Like I would like to see like more content with these writers. That would actually be super funny. But
Cianciarulo, if you're down for a collab, I'm ready, brother.
Yeah, just fly my brother out there. He'll handle it, and I'll film it.
We can talk about pop punk bands. We can talk about hardcore punk. Now, I will say this. This is some crazy lore, and we're going to get into it, but let's talk 450s, okay? This is my segue into the 450 class. Jet Lawrence is now training with Khalil Roundtree from the UFC who happens to be a hardcore music fanatic. We
Yeah.
also know Hunter Lawrence really likes like metal and hardcore. So my worlds are intersecting at an alarming rate. At an alarming rate. So I'm hoping Khalil Roundtree, if you're hearing this, and we should even tag him in the video. Khalil Roundtree, you better start showing the Lawrence brothers awesome bands. Awesome bands.
Please. Please.
Anyways, 450 class, speaking of the Lawrence
450
brothers,
premiere
Hunter
class.
Lawrence must have been listening to none other than Master Killer, because that's what he was. He came out fighting all main event. Let's talk about it. How'd you feel about the 450 class?
Honestly, for one, him and I'm not going to go into 250s, but I will say the HRC Honda's bikes look like fucking bullets, dude, for military appreciation, with the black in front, white in the back, just a flying bullet. And that's exactly what both of those riders were that weekend. But we're talking about Hunter Lawrence. We're seeing what we've been trying to figure out and talk, and what we've been talking about to see if we can figure out if he has what it takes to not necessarily be in his brother's shadow, but to keep that momentum, that speed, and set the pace on his own without Jet. We're seeing it. We are starting to see it, and my God, I'm fucking here for it.
Also, his battle with Ken Roxon, I'm telling you, dude, Ken Roxon is lightning fast in the first half of the mains.
Yes.
He is lightning fast. I was shocked at our top 5 in the way that they were riding. Cooper Webb always putting it together around this time in the series.
Yes.
And we're seeing him go, once I put this all together, it's over for you bitches. Yeah. Right? And Hunter Lawrence is going, counterattack.
Yeah.
Counterattack. And Eli Tomac goes,
I will sink your battleship. Yeah.
Right. And Eli Tomac just goes, I'm going to be a rogue and just slip into second place if you guys don't mind.
Dude, Eli came out of nowhere and
incredible.
Pushed off Cooper Webb. I feel like the points, if I'm not mistaken, they are so close still between the top 5 riders, if I'm not mistaken, maybe even 6. But dude, just the performance we got to witness from Hunter, I thought was absolutely phenomenal. He definitely wanted to bring a whole different attack. What am I trying to say? A whole different approach with attack after the incident with the last race with him and Roxon. So honestly, they were racing aggressive, super clean, respectable. And it was freaking badass. And to see the line choices that they were taking, the track getting as rough as it was, and those whoops being a huge play factor with who's gonna jump them, who's gonna blitz them, was just that was a sick race, and I cannot wait to see what Hunter can do and bring for Daytona, which is more of like an SMX style track. A lot of sand, very technical. Depending on, I don't know how the weather's gonna be, just because I feel like we've had some late rain, so I don't know how it's gonna be. Usually it's pretty clear, but no, I'm excited even to see what ET3 has in store, because he needs to start winning again and keeping that red plate.
Well, right now we have a 4-point difference between first and second. We've got Hunter Lawrence right now with 149 points. He just took 25 points for getting first at Arlington. Eli Tomac picked up 22 points for second. Again, he's doing everything he needs to stay in this competition after that 12th place at Glendale. right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So now that he's putting it back together, right? He went 12th place, first. Now he's getting second. Eli Tomac is in a position where he's like, okay, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. I have put together more first places than Hunter, but this is a warning to Eli. If Hunter starts getting this confidence and starts understanding, I can race with the old guard cleanly, get some contact in, but solidify myself as the fastest guy out here. Eli Tomac, there's no way in fuck Eli Tomac is going to allow that to happen. Eli Tomac's going, I cannot let him get confident. I have to be more confident. Eli Tomac is going to put on a charge, and he is the most winningest rider at Daytona.
Yes.
So we're in for a fucking battle. We're in for a battle between Eli, Hunter, Cooper Webb, Ken Roczen. If Chase Sexton can get in the mix somehow, I'd love to see it. But I'm saying I think Jason Anderson is going to absolutely try and put a show on.
Yeah.
So I think we've got a lot of interesting stuff happening. Jorge Prado is out right now, right?
I
I'm
wonder,
unsure when
is he?
he's
Yeah,
coming
I don't
back.
know if he's coming back because I don't think that he had a break. I think it's just super strained.
It was strained and swollen to a
Gotcha.
point where like movement was difficult.
The rotating
And when
cuff.
you're having when you're having to deal with all of that, right? All of this movement, these people that maybe don't know the ins and outs of injuries like this, when you're constantly having to deal with break bumps at the level that these pros are, the amount that you need to have grip strength and overall mobility over your shoulders, because this is one of the apex places where you are moving and handling the weight of the front end.
Yeah.
That's going to be very difficult if your shit is all swollen, all agitated. We saw Malcolm Stewart. He wasn't able to come back at the same momentum as he was after his crash or before his crash. He's
And
now
that dude
starting to put
had
it
a lot.
together.
Yeah.
He's now trying to put it together. And I'm hoping, he's feeling better. I'm talking about Prado. I hope he's feeling better and
Yeah.
can get back out there for Daytona. But I think we're just going to have to wait. We might see an announcement here anytime. But yeah, dude, the 450 class was bonkers. The
Yeah.
battles were incredible. But I think you absolutely nailed it, where this is what we've been talking about. Hunter, you have to establish that you can race at your own pace and you don't need the shadow of your brother to be watching and following behind. And he showcased that at Arlington.
Yeah.
He absolutely showcased it. He's like, I can pick faster lines. I can race cleaner than I did last week in Seattle when I took out Ken Roczen. I'm not going to do that again. I've learned from my mistakes. They battled. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was absolutely awesome.
Yeah. Who was kind of your who was one of the riders that kind of stood out a little more? For me, honestly, it was Malcolm. I thought he was absolutely tearing up the field, and he looked damn good. He looked damn good. And this, like you said about, Hunter, where, he's getting more, we're starting to see that rider, in the middle of racing. But this is also the time where we're seeing Malcolm, especially from last year, where he got his win. He was winning heats. So will it Malcolm Stewart be a contender in Daytona against these guys? Because his shoulder, he's starting to get a lot more comfortable and healing up way better from the last couple races from his crash. And again, thank God he is okay. I can't wait to see Barsha come back. I hope Barsha's doing good, because you know what? As much as I want to talk about Ducati, Ferrandis doesn't pique my interest. But when Bam Bam was on the Ducati, I wanted to talk about it. So Bam Bam, we need you back, brother. We need you back. We want to talk Ducati. Sorry, Ferrandis.
Right. And I think my thing, right, is when I'm thinking about contenders, I'm thinking about how they've done at Daytona in the past. I'm thinking about how they've been doing this season overall because the mindset going into the weekend is almost just as important as the training you do in the week.
Yeah.
Going into this, Hunter Lawrence, Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, Ken Roxon, and I would even say Jason Anderson
Mm-hmm.
have like this idea of, okay, I have the speed that it takes to be up in the top 5, right? Anderson had a very bad weekend this weekend, right? It's undeniable. Malcolm Stewart also finished in 11th here at Arlington. They are still putting it together. When I'm thinking of threats for Daytona, I'm thinking Eli Tomac's not going to make that easy for anybody.
No, not at
He's
all.
the king of Daytona.
Yeah.
So this is basically a proving ground for Hunter Lawrence, Cooper Webb, Ken Roxon. Those right there, that top 4 of the championship, these people that can show that they have consistency, they do pretty good at Daytona.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. But again, this is going to be the testament of Hunter Lawrence. Can you put it together? Beat Eli Tomac at Daytona for an upset and earn these fucking points. I think that's definitely what we're in for. But I think riders that have surprised me a little bit getting into the top 10 has been Joey Savacci lately.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see how he works with Daytona.
Yeah.
So,
I'm excited.
yeah, I also think Justin Cooper has been doing better and better, right? Started off with 6, went to 10ths, went to some 9ths. Now he's 4th, 3rd, 5th, right? He's still getting into that top 5, but I think it is one of those, hey, dude, at this juncture, right? We're 7 rounds in, we're going into the 8th round. This isn't the time to be like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and start winning every race. You got to get more into that podium position if you want a
Yeah.
chance to even contend for this championship. But right now, with 149, 145, and 133 being the top 3 points, all of these guys are looking to be in a good position if they win or get second,
Yeah.
right? So it's all about that consistency. And yeah, that's kind of my viewpoint on it. I think the big conversation is going to be Ken Roxon, Hunter Lawrence, and Eli Tomac and Cooper Webb.
Yeah. I honestly, yeah, I definitely agree. I'm excited for it. Daytona is always awesome to watch, super exciting, edge of your seat. And lately, with every round that's been going on, it's been a sold out crowd. So it's so awesome to see our sport is growing. Um, and I hope it continues because this is the coolest sport, the gnarliest sport in the world. Besides soccer. But it's gonna be good. I think Eli's gonna dominate. And he's gonna be the one that everybody has to battle with 100%. Like you said, he is the king of Daytona. Um, and the one that everybody's gonna be rooting for. I think it's gonna be for my picks for this weekend. It's gonna be Tomac, Hunter Lawrence, and Cooper Webb. And then my wild card will be Roxon.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm. I think the other thing that I'm kind of hesitant to be like, I think Eli Tomac's going to dominate it, is he is on a different bike.
Yes.
We've never seen him on this KTM at Daytona, but we've seen him everywhere else, and he's fucking crushing it. He's
Yeah.
been crushing it. So I think mine is very much the same. I think it's going to be Eli Tomac, Hunter Lawrence, But I think, but yeah, my wild card is going to be or my third is going to be Ken Roxon, and you can interchange all three of those, right?
Yeah.
First, second, and third. I think those are going to be our top three. Wild card is going to be Cooper Webb.
Yeah.
Because I think Cooper Webb's just consistent, and if anything happens, he's more than likely going to be somebody that is more conservative, right? So when these guys are taking risks and they're battling, he may be able to sneak in.
Yeah.
But it's going to be really hard to dethrone Eli Tomac of his Daytona kinglihood.
Is this a showdown between West and East, the first showdown too, or is it just East Coast?
I'm not sure. I believe it's just East Coast, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so too, but
let me see.
But yeah, for my 250 picks, I'm gonna have to go with Joe Shimoda, Cole Davies, Pierce Brown, wild card Seth Haymaker.
Beautiful. I'm going to go Joe Shimoda, or no, I'm going to go Cole Davies, Joe Shimoda, Pierce Brown.
Yeah, that was gonna be my pick too, but I'm the way Shimoda is just riding right now. Like he's hungry, he's pissed. Now I wouldn't say necessarily pissed, but he's just hungry and he wants it. He knows get as much points as you can, get the lead in the points, and then kind of like relax a little bit when he can, if he can, because there's so many amazing riders and top contenders for this East Coast Championship. But I think we're in for edge of your seat, wild ride. It's going to be awesome battles. Track's going to be super gnarly. And yeah, dude, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else that we're missing or bringing up?
I know, because I think we've kind of nailed all of it. I think it's just we're in for a really good round next round.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, Daytona, baby. This is False Neutral Media. Thank you for tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment of who you think is going to be your top riders for Daytona, or what you guys thought of the last race, with whether it's the red lights or your picks from the last race. And we will see you after Daytona. Thanks.